Hi, I'm Aaron Raw, and you're watching Atheist Edge.
People haven't stopped hating us.
Nope, they never do.
We're trying to make the world a better place, guys. Come on. We need you to get on board with what we're doing here.
I need to get you on board with helping me respond to some of this shit in real time.
Well, look at the shit you're wanting me to reply to.
Yeah, okay, but I could bring you to bear. You're more rationally thinking than I am. I mean, you're the person that should be responding to these people. Sometimes I respond in ways that would be considered inappropriate, is what I'm saying.
But sometimes my calm, reasoned, rational response is go fuck yourself.
Okay.
So,
well, then we're not so much different.
Maybe not.
All right.
So, okay. Let's start with the first one. Unsub. I am a born and raised atheist, even anti-theist. Lefties are retards, and I don't want to associate with any of them.
First off, name calling. It's one of our commandments. It's right there behind us. Our channel, I kind of started it, but we're going with it. It started out as the Atheist Edge 10 commandments, things that we try to avoid. It's up to 21 commandments right now. One of them is, once you introduce name calling into a discussion, you have limited your credibility to a point where you've lost the argument. Even if you had a point, you start resorting to name calling, fuck you, man. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how we work.
There's you can be factually correct about something, like you can be a conservative atheist. I really don't care. But if you express yourself in a way that makes people not want to listen to you, you're not helping your own cause. And we're allowed to disagree. Like at our atheist get-togethers, at our socials, we talk about all kinds of stuff that we disagree on, but we're able to get together around our common cause of atheism and our shared lack of belief. And we can disagree about anything else. Now, the one thing that I'm curious about, and this guy doesn't actually say it, the only people who I see calling lefty retards are super conservative Trump supporters, or people who are supportive of the current Republican regime. And
people that are just as extreme, but on the other side.
Right. And I know atheist Trump supporters. And, you know, I like them. We disagree in politics. We talk about other things. But why? Like obviously Trump has a whole bunch of positions on issues like immigration and the economy that you may agree with. But he's done so much that it's problematic for the atheist community in being a pawn of Christian nationalists. I don't see how you as an atheist can get behind him just for that reason alone.
That's funny you should mention that, because a little later in the day, we only record once a month, so this is a 12-hour recording session we're in right now. But a little later in the day, we're sitting TJ down. I hope it's not me, but I want the person who knows who has been following the impeachment procedure well. Not you?
No, I have. I just don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it. Okay, Courtney doesn't want to do it. She's out. I hope it's not me. I hope someone knows more than me. I have been following it pretty well. I don't feel like I don't know if I can go toe to toe with TJ and actually come out on top, because he's got his he's got his ducks in a row. I am going to be very honest with you. Whoever sits opposite him and talks about the impeachment, because he thinks, well, you watch it in the episode, but he thinks the entire impeachment procedure is a far left attempt to get him out of office for no reason. It's a kangaroo court. So, yeah.
Well, I'll let them,
need somebody. Okay.
We'll let them talk about that specifically. But I mean, yeah. I mean, you can be a conservative atheist. That's cool. You can be a Republican atheist, and that's fine. But if you're a Trump supporter specifically, you need to take a look at your cognitive dissonance in that area, because you may like him for some things, but he's going to be extremely problematic for you in others.
Well, what also concerns me about the comment is that there's just the dismissal of different opinions, because a large part of being an atheist and a large part of being a skeptic is trying to critically think and not be dogmatic about what you think, and so not everything that the left or the right says is completely correct.
It's
We're
an
all kind of-
overgeneralization.
yeah, it's an overgeneralization.
All lefties are retards.
Right, and so it's completely dismissing differences of opinion and dissent, and that is the definition of dogmatism. So that's what's worrying to me about it.
Yeah.
Well, he's unsubbed anyway, so who cares?
And the ones that say they're unsubbed, you're still watching, scumucks. Scumucks, you're fucking watching right now. I know it. I feel it. I feel you never unsubbed, did you?
Fun fact.
Yep.
Scumucks, spelled backwards, is scumucks.
Oh, it's a palindrome.
I know.
Is that a palindrome? Did I get that right?
It is
Holy
a palindrome.
shit.
Who's the retard now? Wait, that thing makes sense.
Who's the... hold on, let me say one more thing about this one before we go on. I had one more thing. Yeah, overgeneralization, and don't associate. And you know what? Even if you... Yeah, we already talked about it. Even if you had a point, which... If you worded this differently, I'd be right on board with you. The extreme left are delusional. I would be on board with you. Mm-hmm. But you worded it wrong. You became confrontational right out of the gate. And so now I'm going to dismiss whatever you have to say, even if I would have agreed with you.
Maybe he's trolling. Nah, that would never happen.
Never happens on our channel.
Let's see. Speaking of which, this is from your conversation with Otangelo, who's gained some notoriety.
Yes,
multiple
a fan
atheist
favorite.
communities.
You know Howard Stern. You know how he became popular. More people. He became popular because he. Okay, here's his base of listeners when he was first on New York radio, right? Mm-hmm. The majority of those listeners were listening to because they hated him. Mm-hmm. That's how he got popular, through the people who hated him. Mm-hmm. Otangelo, whatever you want to say about him, he hasn't displayed the type of personality traits that other people accuse him of on our channel. Mm-hmm. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I will invite him back. But so many people have said so many negative. He is popular just like Howard Stern is. There's more people that hate him, but they still want to see what he's going to say next.
Let's see what this person has to say. Otangelo is either a troll or an incredibly closed-minded person. He doesn't listen, only repeats the same point all over, and not even trying to understand the other position. Sad, doxastically closed.
What is doxastic?
I think it just means he's not open to new information.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that, but that's...
They just explained it. Steve McRae explained it last night at book club meeting. I forgot what doxastic means. But I've already forgotten.
So, I've heard Otangelo. He's called into a number of ACA shows that I listened to, and he wanted they just forbid him from calling anymore, I think. And I don't see him. If the issue with Otangelo is that he just repeats the same talking points over and over again,
that's the criticism.
And doesn't listen, there's a lot of Christians that do that, and it's
Are you going to ban all Christians from all the Austin talk shows now?
Now, it doesn't make him a troll, I don't think. It does make for bad programming if it happens over and over again.
Broken record.
Yeah.
Having to answer the same question twice or multiple times.
Yeah, and I don't see, I don't have any problem with you having a conversation with. I didn't want to be part of it personally just because I felt like I knew what I was getting into, but obviously it seems to have worked out. Like you said, you would have him enjoy it, so... I don't consider him a troll. I think we should be careful about throwing that term around just to dismiss someone for that reason. If you're going to dismiss someone, then dismiss him for repeating the same debunked arguments ad nauseum and not being even willing to consider alternative positions. That would be a trend of behavior that needs to be demonstrated. And so, if you had a talk with Otangelo again, and it didn't get anywhere, and you just didn't feel like it was going to get anywhere, then sure, don't have him on for that reason. But that doesn't make him a troll. It just makes him kind of a sadly typical apologist.
Rare occurrence. I'm going to toot my own horn here. Last time I talked to him, we were talking Kalam cosmological argument. I accidentally painted him into a corner. Mm-hmm. I had him speechless. I had him against the ropes, and this wasn't even an informal debate. Mm-hmm. But what I said to him, he could not answer. He was in a point where he had to agree with me. Mm-hmm. Another thing is trolling and spamming are two different things. If you say the same, like we've got a fan, Jeremy Spry. He loves to repeat this. I say this in the nicest possible way, Jeremy. You're a one-trick pony. All he talks about is protein synthesis. It couldn't have evolved by random occurrences. It had to have been intelligently designed. Protein in the cells. And he's not a biologist either. He just parrots what other people say. But that's all he talks about. If we could be talking about the Kalam, but he'll bring it back. He brings the conversation back to proteins. Come on.
Yeah.
Is that all you've got? Let's talk about something different.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here too, because I know Otangelo brings up some other biology stuff. We're not biologists, so
He is not either.
Well, he's bringing up biological arguments, and just if we don't know how to answer something like that, it's because we're not experts in the subject matter. So if you're interested in having a conversation, you should be talking to actual biologists, not completely untrained laymen. I mean, we'll do what we can, but we're not the people you really need to be convincing with.
The best you can get from us is an I don't know, and there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
All right.
And real quick, evolution, pro or con, does not affect my atheism at all.
And it shouldn't affect anyone's Christianity either.
Yeah, because there are theistic evolutionists, and there's a lot of crossover there. So even if evolution is proven false in some way, that doesn't get you to God. That's an entirely different level of argument you need to be employing there.
Or the fact that it is proven true, which is a fact, shouldn't affect your Christianity. You can still be a Christian knowing that evolution is a fact. The theory of evolution is based on countless amount of evidence that supports the theory, but evolution itself is a fact.
Yeah, go talk to Francis Collins or something like that.
Or Hugh Ross.
Or Hugh Ross.
Natural selection is the theory.
Evolution by means of natural selection, as opposed to Lamarckianism, which got Lamarckianism was a theory of evolution that got discounted. Oh, okay. Is this the last one?
This is the last
All right.
one. It's a little bit long. Atheist Edge in the Christian community I was a part of. I got out of it. I wanted to find healing from all the abuse that happened in radical evangelical beliefs being fed to me, and eternal security was talked about. I just seemed more lenient, but I found myself once again in the psychological abuse.
Oh.
And when I reached out for human help, people would brush it aside, saying, that's the enemy, Celine. And when I really wanted to have an open, honest talk about brainwashing, how to get out of it and live freely as a Christian, and it's left me feeling such despair and low about myself, because they talk about how you don't earn God's grace and how grace is unmerited, undeserved favor. You are repulsive. If you think you've earned God's love, is so easily ripped away. That rug I had, and I always found that feeling I was an atheist deep down, but wanted to give my faith a second try because it was marketed as something totally different, and supposed to we're a family, as they would always say to me. But instead of trying to heal me and reassure me everything would be okay with life, it was always bring it to Jesus. He will take care of it. Or I'll pray for you. Man has messed up those teaching. That's not God. Satan works through people.
Oh, God.
And so on. I hate that notion of Satan working through people, because he's imaginary, first off. And then he doesn't hold people up to accountability for their actions. That's a good point. Awesome video. I'm trying to find myself again for the second time. I feel like an idiot, and I fell for it again because the first time I was so traumatized. I became agnostic, and on the surface these discussions sounded good, but ended up paralyzing me anymore that no one gets it. So there's a lot there. And first of all, no one's an idiot for being raised a certain way and being indoctrinated with certain beliefs. If anything, I don't want to use the term idiot to apply to religious people, but if anything, the fact that you questioned your beliefs and you're willing to go through that tough process of trying to sort those things out shows that you're not an idiot.
And you're thinking independently.
Yeah, exactly. You're willing to give
the light bulb is on.
You're giving your faith a lot more consideration than most people would. A lot of people would just go along with it. So
I'm sorry you went through all that, Celine. That's unfortunate. It's very common though too, isn't it? Unfortunately.
Yeah, and not a lot of Christian denominations are as upfront with it as others. Like some of them are more happy, fun, comfort churches, but that's a big part of the Christian message, is teaching you that you are nothing without God.
A foundational aspect of Christianity is that Satan is necessary. That's why, because God is being
Omnibenevolent,
Nope.
present,
Nope.
scient.
Nope. Yes, omnipotent. That's the one. Thank you, Randall. In fact, Randall, I think this was a video. This is a response to a video that you were in. You and Chris, maybe. I think so. Yeah. If God is omnipotent, of course, everyone knows. It goes without saying that He could dispatch Satan on a whim, right? Mm-hmm. He has to find him necessary. Here's a parallel. Tell me if it's a bad parallel, but I love TJ. He and I are buds. We're friends. Mm-hmm. So I'm not talking about him, my friendship with him. I'm talking about his role on the show as a provocateur, as a right-leaning, Trump supporter, heavy libertarian policies, and super smart, right? Mm-hmm. Do you see him kind of as a Satan for our show? Like, we can't do without, we need him?
Devil's advocate.
Devil's devil. He's not even the advocate, he's the devil.
Well,
But you know what I mean. TJ, I'm so. You know what I'm saying, TJ? Don't, please. I love you, man. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's not like we need a token adversary or anything like that. But
we kind of do.
It's the same thing we always try to
Get behind us.
The reason we talk with people of other beliefs and we talk with people of other political viewpoints is because we don't want to be an echo chamber. That gets old really fast.
Good point.
And TJ, we agree with them some things, we disagree with others, and things we disagree on. That at least forces us to reckon with our beliefs about politics and some things.
The thing that stands out for me about this message is how much he tried. And I think a lot of folks... I'm sorry.
Celine Froderma. I'm guessing it's a she, yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. How much she tried. I mean, she kept going back again and again and again. And I think a lot of Christians miss that message. They think that we become atheists because we didn't try enough. Mm-hmm. And that's very similar to my own story. 50 years as a Christian, I kept going back to the well over and over again. I kept going back over and over again thinking, I just missed something last time. There's got to be a part of this whole Christian thing that I'm just not nailing down. And yeah, it took me a long time to realize there's just nothing there. And I think that's what she's acknowledging here is over and over again. She kept going back and kept going back. And good for her that she finally found her way out.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, it's hard when you have that comfort and support and structure in your life, and all of a sudden you're left. And atheism. It's if there's no God, it's reality. You have to deal with that. But there's not that kind of built-in support structure. We have to kind of build that as a community.
Yep.
And we're getting better at it, but
it's ad hoc, it's a work in progress. This local community in particular, I hope, is a zeitgeist for other communities nationwide, because we just in the last 5 years, I can name a half a dozen reasons why we are better off now than we were 6 years ago. And among them, the first thing that pops to mind is we're communicating more. There's cross collaboration. There's working together. Let's just go 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. This big group over in Dallas, this big group over in Fort Worth, this one over in Irving, this one over in Euless. It was almost kind of a competition to see, kind of a dick waving contest, to see who could be the bigger and who could draw the more people. Now it's working together and we all come to the same stuff, and there's a lot more co-hosting of events, and I like the way it's going. So yes, I know, Courtney, we're over time. No. Okay, here we go.
I was just going to say, for people like her and for you as well, our community is here for you, and that's a huge part of why we do what we do, and it's why Jim and I are
I'm not anymore. I resigned my post.
We've been officers for community groups, and Theo is as well, and so we've got a huge community here for you, and we are your safety net. So
yeah,
Meetup.com is your go-to anywhere in the world. I think it might not just be United States. Meetup.com. Click on atheist or secular or agnostic, and you will find some group within 50 miles of you. And if I'm lying to you, put it in the comment section. You'll find a group that meets regularly 50 miles from where you live, no matter where you are.
So yeah, Celine, thanks for writing, and best of luck on your journey. I know it's rough and it may take time, but hopefully you find some security and find some like-minded people who you can get together with, and realize that you've gone through some rough stuff, but you're not alone in it. A lot of people have gone through similar things. So thanks everyone for watching Atheist Edge. Keep commenting, and we'll take the good with the bad, and hopefully there will be some good stuff to balance out some of the hate we've been getting. So
Thanks, everyone. That's why he's a necessary aspect of the show. Exactly.
Oh, I mean, I'm not judging him for it now.
That's why the Vatican had a.
Right now. Yeah.
Not right in this moment.
Can you square us up and make sure we're rolling in square?
All right. Remember, you gotta bring that back next year.
Thanks, man. Yes, that was awesome. Thanks, Ash. Oh, scoot in a little. We're starting with that next one. The number.
okay.
That one's already been done, I think.
This one?
Double check it just to make sure.
Yeah. I don't need
That should be the felony stalker one, right? All right, 2. We're gonna have to milk 2 into 17 minutes. Let's see if we can do
Man.
this.
We don't need it to be that long.
What you just did, not even 11. That's gonna be a bite size.
Okay, I
can't even.
Yeah.
Oh, and that one's not going to get
Actually-
monetized anyway because you're talking all about sexual stuff.
Yeah.
It'll get limited monetization. We'll get maybe. Yes, that's how YouTube works. Even if you talk about it in a positive aspect, it gets limited monetization.
So actually, these are two entirely separate things.
Yep.
These are two entirely separate things.
Oh,
So
we'll
you-
just
so-
make it
yeah,
2 separate
yeah,
then.
So you just need to split that image in half.
You got to sway down.
This
Yeah,
feels really weird.
I know.
Okay.
It's all right.
You think it's weird for you?
Tell me about it. And I had a chicken sandwich for
Oh, is that what that was?
There you go. There he is, Randall Theo.
really tough to get up. All right, that's not gonna work.
50. How old are you?
Too old for you.
I didn't even think you were 50 yet. I didn't even think you were 50 yet.
I'm 54.
Wow. I thought I was way older than you.
Yeah. Well.
God, you age well, dude.
Thank you.
Okay, anyway. Go.